Stop hoarding tea lights in garden pots. You have been lied to by almost every survival and off-grid channel on the internet. You've seen the viral videos a million times. A guy stacks two terracotta pots together, puts four little candles underneath, and claims he is heating an entire room for pennies. It looks like magic. It feels like the ultimate winter survival cheat code. But there is a massive problem nobody is talking about. It is a complete scientific fraud, and worse, it is a ticking bomb sitting on your living room table. Today, we are tearing down the terracotta myth and revealing the actual $5 ancient alternative that legitimately works, using forgotten physics to keep you warm when the grid goes down. Let's absolutely shatter the candle heater illusion right now. People build these things thinking the clay pot somehow magically multiplies the heat of the candles. That is physically impossible. You cannot create energy out of nowhere. A single standard tea light produces roughly 100 BTUs, or British thermal units, of heat per hour. Four candles give you 400 BTUs. To heat a standard insulated 10 by 10 bedroom, you need roughly 3,000 to 4,000 BTUs. That means you would need 40 candles burning simultaneously just to make a dent in the room's temperature. So why do people swear it works? Because it tricks the human body. The terracotta pot traps the tiny amount of heat those four candles produce. The clay absorbs it and gets incredibly hot to the touch. When you hover your hands over it, it feels like a furnace, but it is only heating the 2 inches of air directly around the pot. It is a hand warmer, not a space heater. And then there's the dark side of this viral hack. If you actually try to pack enough candles under one of these pots to heat a room, you create a catastrophic fire hazard. The clay dome traps the heat, superheating the paraffin wax until it literally boils. When the wax vaporizes, it can ignite all at once in a massive flashover. People have burned their houses down trying to save a few dollars on their heating bill with this exact setup. Our ancestors survived brutal, freezing winters for thousands of years without the modern electrical grid, and I promise you, they were not huddled around a flower pot. They understood a concept that modern society has completely forgotten: high-density thermal mass. If you want to heat your space for almost nothing, you need to abandon the terracotta and turn to the materials the ancients actually used. You need fire brick or soapstone. Terracotta is porous, fragile, and terrible at retaining heat over long periods. Soapstone and high-density refractory bricks, on the other hand, are the ultimate natural thermal batteries. They are so dense that they can absorb a massive amount of extreme heat and then slowly, evenly radiate it out into a room for hours and hours after the heat source is completely gone. Here is the actual $5 survival heating hack you need to know. For centuries, pioneers, homesteaders, and ancient cultures used bed warmers and footstones. They would take a dense piece of soapstone or solid clay brick and place it directly next to the coals of their cooking fire. They let the stone absorb the intense, free thermal energy of a fire they were already burning for food. Once the stone was fully charged with heat, they would wrap it in heavy wool or thick cloth and bring it into their sleeping quarters. Because of the extreme density of the stone, it doesn't just release the heat immediately into the ceiling like hot air does. It acts as a radiant thermal battery. It slowly pushes infrared heat into the surrounding objects, keeping you warm through the freezing night. To adapt this for modern off-grid emergencies, you don't need a massive fireplace. You can build a micro radiator. By securing just a few high-density fire bricks, which cost about $1 each at any hardware store, you can create a heavy, dense core. If you heat these bricks on a simple outdoor camp stove, a wood-burning rocket stove, or even an indoor safe alcohol burner, you are capturing actual usable BTUs. Then you transfer that thermal battery into your living space. Furthermore, you combine this with the ancient Persian and Japanese technique of localized heating. Instead of trying to heat a massive volume of dead air in a room, you heat the human. You place your thermal mass safely under a table and drape a heavy blanket over the edges, trapping the radiant heat exactly where you are sitting. Stop falling for aesthetic internet tricks that violate the laws of physics. Ditch the fragile pots and the expensive, dangerous candles. Embrace the raw, proven science of high-density thermal mass. By understanding how to capture, store, and radiate real energy, you will be prepared to survive any winter, no matter what happens to the grid.